Hi, sweethearts. I'd like to share some guidance I got because I feel like it applies in one way or another to all of us that are here having this human experience. On one level, it's really silly what my inquiry was. It's not that important. And then on another level, it's really important because right now we're doing this together as practical application. So it is the day-to-day stuff. It's the day-to-day stuff that we are working through as human beings and doing our best to apply principles from our Course in Miracles, not always knowing how. The teachings, the principles are so beautiful. We feel it in our heart. We feel it in our soul. We're like, yes, this is the truth. I feel it. And then we walk out there into the world and the challenge is how to apply it. Because as beautiful as the principles are, as wonderful and transcendent as they are, it's not, at least speaking for myself, it's not always immediately obvious how to apply them. And I have a practice of doing a contemplation where I think through an issue and I ponder it out and puzzle it out in my own mind, and then I will ask that loving guide for insights on anything I might have missed. And so the contemplation I was doing was why do I resist keeping my personal space clean, tidy, and organized? I keep most of my house. My family does a good job keeping it clean, but for some reason my entire life, my own bedroom looks like a hurricane has gone through it, and my office often looks like a hurricane has passed by, and just stuff everywhere. And I started to think there's something wrong with me. Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I like this? I probably have ADHD a little bit. You know, as a child, I was diagnosed as having ADHD. And being messy is a challenge for me. And I've read that creative people often are messy. Like sometimes those are cofactors. But I don't want to make excuses because I really do want to live in a clean, tidy environment. And so here's what I wrote. I like and enjoy having a clean, tidy, and organized space. So why? What are the blocks? Has it been so challenging to maintain? Is it as simple as coming up with a plan, constructing new habits? I like writing more than I like editing. Are those things related? I suppose it's normal to have more fun making messes than cleaning them up. But can making and tidying messes both be pleasant and fun? Wouldn't that be so lovely? Clutter seems to attract more clutter, so perhaps nipping the mess in the bud before it goes to seed is key. What if I tidied my room and office every day for 10 or 15 minutes? That might be enough for it to stay perpetually clean, tidy, and organized. I resist other boring or tedious maintenance items too, like doing my Qigong every day, writing, sorting my mail, even things I love, I sometimes find tedious and difficult. Is all the resistance related or separate issues? Why do they feel so hard? Can I make hard things feel softer and pleasant? Is it possible? And if it's possible, how? Do I need a new paradigm shift? And I feel like I've kind of gotten to the end of my own inquiry. My human mind had reached the end of its understanding. So I turned to this loving guide. My friend, here are my thoughts. Do you have any additional guidance, insights, comfort, or advice on the topic of tidiness and organization? Love, Beck. Rebecca, dear friend, look at it like this. In Earth School, you experience cause and effect. You get to play around with cause, aka experiment, to see and experience the effect. If you enjoy the effect, then it's good for you. You may find a white wall happy, bright, and soothing. I'll pause here and say, I do. That's true about me. While someone else calls it lifeless and boring. Your life is your art. It will be celebrated by some and ignored or disdained by others. Ultimately, though, it's your opinion that matters most. I'll pause and say, matters most in terms of my own life, not more than anyone else's. That's how I interpret that. I could tell you to do it this or that way, but then it wouldn't be your art. And I would like to see your art to where you might even call it desperate. I'll pause and say I was really surprised to get that guidance. I hesitated even to write it down. I was like, am I hearing this right? I desperately would like to see what you create without impingement by others, including myself. Do not ask me to show you the way. Dear angel, please show me your way. I truly and deeply would love to see your way. Thank you in advance for letting me walk alongside you to discover what may come together. In love and trust, your guide. Thank you for letting me share that with you. There was something so poignant and profound in the guidance that I received. That love would like to see our art. Love would like to see what you create when you are set free. Not as a robot or an automaton, but as the perfect, whole, and complete, original, unique being, creation that you are. You are so beautiful. You are so wonderful. The desires of your heart have been purified. You can trust the desires of your heart. You wouldn't be on this channel if you didn't have a gentle and kind heart. You would think everything I'm saying is ridiculous. Trust that loving inner guidance. And don't be afraid to express as your true authentic self. To see what you create without impingement by others. Not even God wants to impinge on your art. This reminds me of a time where I was writing a science fiction novel and I got to the last chapter and I was like, I don't know how to end this. God, will you just tell me? And the guidance I got so clearly was, no, because I want to read your book. I want to have the pleasure of seeing how it ends. You write it. And I thought, wow, God delights in you writing your story. I'm not talking about just writing a book. I'm talking about your life story. You are the creator. You're the author. You're the editor. God wants to see it and delight in it with you, and will walk alongside you. So, beloved, what will your story be today? How will you delight your own beautiful soul and God today? In A Course in Miracles, we're told over and over and over again that we are God's beloved son, that we are so treasured. God only desires good things for you, and one of those good things is for you to accept and experience and magnify your sovereignty. Thank you for being here. I love you so much. Write a beautiful story today.